Ahoy! Adirondack. Thanks for joining. Hope you're well. You getting on that poultry wheel today? How are you getting on? Melmot, thanks for coming in. Hello. Probably not. Just finished the day job and running the FAM's store until 9 since my dad is out of town. So I'll be bouncing around streams. Your family has a store? What kind of a store? Can you tell me a bit more about that? It's called AC Gaming Space here in upstate New York. It's a tabletop board game, card game, hobby store. Gosh, that is so cool. One of my favorite board games is Catan. I like Catan a lot. I also am a big fan of Sequence. Adirondack, could you say which is maybe your top board game? If you had to pick one or two. Adirondack said, "Oh, my parents played Catan all the time. We have so many expansions here. My dad prides himself on his mom and pop board games collection. Over 500 different titles. Wow." That is a lot of games. I wonder how many of those games of the 500 titles your dad has played. That would be interesting to know. Zoe, and my current favorite is Makai Koro. Makai Koro. That's cool. I've not heard of that one. Most actually. I wouldn't be surprised if at all. If all. Wow. He goes to a lot of conventions and meets the developers. Gosh, that is so cool. I love a passion project like that. And what a great then job to have where you work in the industry that you love. Hmm. Plus, what fun, like, business development to do. To go and, well, we got to play this game. Adirondack, when you were a kid then, was it filled with playing board games as a family? I should move my stool to sit higher. Sit too low. Scoot up. Ooh, I just dropped clay on my foot. Darn it. Adirondack, sorry I had to go when you were asking a question, I think. This is a new form. Yeah, I don't, we don't sell a lot of these pictures, but we were lucky to sell a few at a sale. So I've got to replenish. It's a 3-pound pitcher. It's about 11 inches tall. And I think what I was asking you is, when you were growing up, was it like a board game activity that was regular at your house? Did you just play tons of board games? Risk and Monopoly and Axis and Allies, Shogun. all those. All those dice games. Oh, gotcha. I mean, board games were definitely like a Friday night activity, but Magic the Gathering is what my dad and the boys played. Then 8 years ago, he had the opportunity to buy out a sports shop. Oh, cool. So is this sort of a retirement? It's not a retirement, but a post-career job then? Was he doing something else and then said, hey, you know what? Life's too short. And AC Gaming was born. He's actually in the process of expanding his unit into the one next door. Oh, right on. Yeah, if you have 500 games, that takes up some space. What's going on with this bat? We shall see. How often do you have to work at the store? Something is up with this bat. Every time I try to take a pull on it, it feels like it's turning. Oh, it's warped. I don't see the warp. It totally is, though. It'll be a challenge. He said, but the whole point in the beginning was to have a safe space in the community to play. He doesn't charge you for your time. He welcomes it. Oh, right on. I love that. He, wants people to come in and experience his joy in playing the games. It's like a library for gaming. You know what I mean? Like, they have the books, but they also give you space to read the books. Hanu! Hi. How are you? I'm great. Yeah, really good. Making some pictures. This bat I'm working on is having an emotional problem. Got warped somehow. I left it out in the sun. That must be it. Yeah, just every time it spins around, it wobbles a bit. The black part. Yeah, see the good. Yeah. Spared no expense. I love that. We all need a place to go and to be with our people. You know, whoever your people are, whether it's Magic the Gathering or, I don't know, pickleball, whatever. Whatever's interesting, like-minded folks. Pottery. Poultry. Set your pottery wheel up on a trampoline and try to throw. That's what this feels like. This might not end up being one of my best. No surprise. Adirondack said, AC has definitely formed a tight-knit community within the larger community. So many relationships I've seen formed here years ago, and they are still coming. It really has been awesome to be around. Oh, that's so cool. You like work with your friends, or you work with people that you meet who become friends. That is awesome. Sort of like here. Meet folks, get to know them, and you know, a friendship develops. Hadun said, what are you making? Is it a vase? It is. We kind of combine the vase with our pitcher form. So you could put flowers in it, but it also will have a handle. And then, so if you like wanted to put water or juice in there, it's handy, sort of on multiple levels. This one's a little wonky, but whatever. Once it stops spinning, you can't hardly tell. You might pull that a little bit thinner. How's your day going, Hanoun? What are you working on? What are you doing? Good enough, I guess. It was fine. How was your day? My day is good so far. Let's see, what have I done today? It's 2 o'clock. Oh, I know what it was. It's so boring, but I do a lot of like research as part of my job here at the Goods. And so today I had to document a whole bunch of results that I have so that I can throw away the samples because they start to pile up. And then I end up with like no space to put my pots. And then we got a radio show interview coming up. And so we're starting to get ready for that. It's this place called the Santa Cruz Voice has agreed to interview me. On a program they have called the Noon Balloon. The Noon Balloon. It's coming up May 29th. And then this weekend we've got a market, our second market ever, which I'm excited about. Here in the States we have Memorial Day. And so it's a holiday weekend. And I'm hoping it'll be a good opportunity to sell some work. Come on out of there, Bubble. Which I have. I did not unload the truck. I just left everything in there. Figured from Wednesday to Sunday, I'll just leave it. Let's see, today's the 22nd, so I guess my birthday's on Saturday, 24th, or say the 21st. Anyway, it's on the 24th. I'm gonna turn 47 years old. Yikes. Seven. Yeah, if like the average person lives to 76, then midlife is 78. Midlife is 36. It just kind of puts it in perspective. So it's too wide. But sure is nice to be here. Hanun said, still a few days, but happy birthday. Wish you all the best. I'd like to be the first person who said happy birthday. You are number one. And thank you so much. When is your birthday, Hanun? It's on 21/10, October 21st. Right on. It's a good birthday. It's like close to Halloween. It is a pretty nice time of year, depending on where you are, but here it's a really nice time of year. Put a little spout on that. I think if I could throw big pots all day long, I probably would. Not that these are big, but I don't know, I like it. And it's fun, you know, it's fun to do taller vessels. Hard to drink a cup of coffee though out of a 40-ounce water pitcher. Oh, thank you. The color of this shirt, you know, I have to give credit where credit's due. And I have an amazing partner who is responsible for pretty much every creative decision that I make with the Goods Pottery, and the colors are included in that. So yeah, we have some Goods branded wares, like bags and it's so nice to be able to have sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff with the name of the business on it. I'm kind of a weirdo. I pretty much wear like a long sleeve or a hoodie every day. Even when it's like today, it's like 90 outside. I'm still wearing this. What can I say? I'm a creature of habit. Got this thing too wide again. Let's color it in a bit. Otherwise, they just get too wide. There we go. Hanun, I think you said that you were interested in pottery. Is that right? But hadn't done any pottery? It might have been Ari that said that. But I'm curious, Hanun, if you've done pottery. Pottery. Why did I say it like that? Pottery. Pottery. Not tried it before. Do you have other creative outlets, other things that you like to do? Gaming, drawing, painting, welding, race car driving. What's your kind of like outlet? I'm gonna have to bring that back in. Let that go wild there. I was just wondering if you do any artistic things or craft things. Really busy with your job. Yeah, I hear that. Oops. One thing about my job in pottery that I did not expect was how challenging the chemistry of the glazes would be. What's something about your job that is challenging in a way that you did not expect? I've got a polka dot on this side. Anything related to the sky? An interesting part of your job. Anything related to the sky? Oh, that's wonderful. Are we talking like the Earth's atmosphere, or like interstellar space? The bottom of this is too thin, I can already tell. It's the right measurement. Anyone asked, do you have any kids? No, no kids. We have a little dog, but I don't know. I was kind of had a confusing childhood. So I wasn't sure when I was a young man that I could be a good dad. And so I decided pretty early on to not have kids. How about yourself? Do you have kids? Well, you're still in school, right? No, you have a job. You're out of school. Just realized, Hanoon, I know your birthday is October 21st, but I don't know what year. Not married. Well, what I have found about being married is that you're married for a long time. You know, till death do us part. And it's a long time. So take your time. Hanoon said, I'm 29. Ah, the perfect age. Young enough and old enough, all at the same time. I envy you, Hanoon. Hanoon, when you're not working, what are some things that you like to do? Noon said, sleeping or chill with my family. Right on. How many siblings do you have? Four. And where in the group are you? Are you middle child or whereabouts? I'm number one, the oldest. That's like me. I'm the oldest as well. But I only have one sister. So it was a toss-up. Although I would say, even though I am older chronologically, my sister is older, you know, I don't know what you'd say, developmentally. She's got 3 kids. She's the principal of a school. She's got everything together. And me, I'm a I'm a pottery guy. It's too tall over there. So as the oldest, Hanun, does that mean you have to kind of take care of the rest? How much younger are they? Is it pretty close? So you're 29, so are the others in their 20s as well? Yeah, we're close to each other. Phage's youngest is 21. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense that you all hang out because being so close in age, I bet you have a lot in common. And he said, how many years have you done pottery until now? Well, since you already know that I'm really old, I'll tell you, I started doing pottery in 1999. But my father, he's still alive. He just doesn't do pottery anymore, but was a middle school pottery teacher. So when I was a kid, it was always around, which was super fun. But I didn't start doing pottery full time until 2 years ago. Well, yeah, about that. I'd say maybe 3 years ago, but for sure two. Yeah, it's a joy to be able to make things with my hands. Things that I believe are genuinely useful, more so than what you can buy at the store. It takes a lot of extra time to make them in this way, but I just love it. Leah! I can always tell when it's you, Leah, because it comes up blue. Nice. They must be halfway through their stream. Time for a little break. Those folks over there are great. Pioneers. Oh, nuts. Their camera got mad and quit. That's lame. I can relate to those struggles though. Any updates, Leah? Oh, how are we today, Joshua? Pretty darn good. I'm thrilled to kind of be back in the mode of just making a lot of pots. Fabian. Cool. Good to see you. Oh, thank you. Joshua, Fabian. Fabian. Joshua, Fabian, Joshua. Thank you for being here. Sorry that there's an issue with the Swan City folk. But I'll gladly be a temporary substitution. Fabian, yeah, thank you. So, since I have you here, Leah, here was the drama. I was setting up, this is my first time at a farmer's market. And full disclosure, I had gone to a different market in our area the Sunday before. And I always check out anyone making pottery. And that's where I ran into this guy who was making these garlic grater plates. Well, he's not making them, he's selling them. And just kind of checked out his booth and said hi, and then ran into him, or he came to my booth on Wednesday and was quite upset to see that I had a similar plate to his. And wanted to know, what markets I was going to, and made it clear that he had been here for 12 years and that he had a right to sell these things, and he felt that I did not have a right to do that. And I'm new here, so I didn't want to make a fuss, Plus, you kind of get caught off guard, and I tend to be kind of a pacifist, so I don't know. I just wasn't really sure how to deal with the situation, except for to kind of apologize and be like, look, I just want to not make you mad, and if there's anything I can do to, I can get rid of this pot or whatever. I don't know. How would you have handled that situation, or maybe what advice could you give me for going forward? Because I'm not real good in conflict. The makers are fighting. Right. How dare you? Well, you're a pretty candid person, Leah. I know that about you. So I think if somebody kind of brought that to you, you might have a much better way of handling it than I did. Which I would say was not standing up for myself. The way I handled it was trying to dodge, pacify, and not create a fuss. This bowl's giving me troubles. Right, in the moment. Yeah, because I feel like sometimes if I say what I actually wish I said afterwards, then I kind of like have to also regret getting upset or saying something mean. But then if I don't stand up for myself, I feel like, I feel regretful for that. Like I got run over by some jerk. Lee said, I would have heard him out, told him I totally respect that and wasn't trying to encroach on his clients. I'm new and just grinding things out. If it's not an incredibly popular thing, maybe second shelf. Second shelf it or something where it's not front and center, but not like put up to avoid arguments. Where it's not front and center, but not like put up. Uh-huh. Yeah, like put away, yeah. To avoid arguments, but if someone asks for something like that, it's there. Okay, well that makes me feel a lot better because I think that's sort of what I was trying to do. Like, I recognize that I'm new and I'm not trying to make any waves. I really appreciate you saying that, Leah. Thank you. Conflict resolution is so hard. Like move the plates to a lesser seen area, especially when you see them coming. Yeah, but you don't have to put up or refuse to sell something he isn't even making, just reselling. Big no, LOL. Yeah, it's easy for me to not sell the garlic plate. It's not like on my website or anything either. I was a conflict resolution expert at my call center job. Wow. Well, then I've asked the right person. I wish on our lives that people, instead of just writing in the chat, could call in to the show. And then it could be like, Leah's conflict resolution hour. And you could take calls and tell people, I could call you and be like, hey, what do I do? You could tell me. And then Leah said, I'd make sure to put it on your site, and if people need it, they can always find it there. It keeps them nearby because you shouldn't turn down a sale to spare someone else's feelings. I hear that. I've actually thought about doing that, LOL. People have told me I need an advice podcast forever. Yeah, that would be sweet. A resource that people can use when they need help. Because aside from the people we have that are closest to us, what resource do we really have for asking advice? The radio. Call into Delilah. Delilah. Lee said, I always like reading that I am the a-hole Reddit pages and almost always find a better solution than any of the people in the actual situation. I've had lots of practice with conflict. Well, then that sort of makes you an expert. And it's super valuable to someone like me who's kind of like avoiding conflict at all cost. I'd like to be a little bit better at navigating it. The space between being triggered enough to say things that I regret and being run over and unable to speak my mind. I'd like to explore that space and get better at it. Lisa, oh my God, I love Delilah. When I was little, reminds me of sleepovers at my Nana's house. Cute. Yeah, right? It's not good for either of us. Either, either. Neither, neither. Leah, how's Nana? Speaking of Nana, how's she? Any news today? I know some days are up and some days are down. Just kind of just maybe hoping for an up day. I wish I'd stop opening those so shallow. Just gonna angle this camera down a little bit. Sorry about the movement, but like there, that might be better. Three. Lisa said the same. She won't get better. She's on hospice. Sadly, we are all taking it pretty hard. Gosh. Sorry about that, Leah. Breaks my heart a bit to hear you're going through it. Hanun said, how do you paint this pottery? Do you spray paint it or paint it by hand? That's a good question, Hanun. What I do is I apply a ceramic glaze to it. My knowledge is like an inch wide and a mile deep. It's my knowledge about ceramic glaze is pretty much the most boring thing most people can stand to listen to. So I'll spare you the details, but I will tell you that the glaze is a glass that melts when we put it in the kiln. And it forms like a durable protective layer over the outside and gives it the color. So we paint it on. I actually dip it. Just have a big bucket and I just dip it right in. And then have to put it back in the kiln. And I think it goes up to like, it depends on how fast it gets there, but somewhere in the, like, it's Fahrenheit, by the way. So it's like 2,170, somewhere in there, degrees. Leah said, Ryan just walked in and recognized that you're the one that made his favorite mug. Yay! He wants me to LYK. Let you know. Let you know. He loves it. Right on. I actually have been working on a series of mugs, same shape, but I want to make them with like darker, more masculine colors. Not that the blues and the greens aren't, colors that men can use, but just for me personally, I prefer something a bit darker. And so I think I have some good options. It's like one of them I have, it's like a black, but then where the glaze is slightly thicker, it turns metallic copper. It's sweet. And I've been working on that for like 6 months. So hopefully I'll get it figured out soon. But I appreciate the compliment. A big thank you to Ryan. Finally, the right thickness in the base. Only took 9 tries. These are all going to be berry bowls. Standard bowl, but I'm going to drill holes in all of them. Noon said, how long do the potteries take to dry? Well, sometimes in the summer here, I can throw pots in the morning and it's so dry, I can trim them in the afternoon. But in general, I will let them dry for about a day before I turn a foot rim on the bottom. And it seems like the right amount. When I was a school teacher, that's what we did. All the students would throw on one day and trim the next. Unless it was raining outside, and then it would take 2 days. Still here, cutting Alex's nails. Yeah, well, you got to once a month, whether they need it or not. Nice of you to cut the nails so they don't turn into talons. Speaking of talons, I've been watching the Lord of the Rings movies, and last night was The Two Towers, which I was completely shocked to remember to see on the Amazon. That movie came out in 2002. I can't believe it's that old. I can't believe I'm that old. It's really what it is. Hanun said, what is your favorite pottery? Is it a mug, a vase, or a pot? It says first. And I'm not sure what that would mean, first. But if it meant favorite, I think it's a tough question to answer, because it's like the pot I make the most is probably mugs. And the reason I make the most mugs is I find them to be the test of my work, which right now is in glaze. If it looks really good on a mug, then I can trust it on everything else. So I make a lot of mugs. But my favorite pot, just because I make so many of them, I would not say it's a mug. Because somehow if you do something that you love too much, it becomes less fun. I think I found that to be true with Sour Patch Kids. You know, if you eat just like way too many Sour Patch Kids and get a stomachache, I still want more Sour Patch Kids, but now I also have a stomachache. So that's maybe too much information. Yeah, so there you have it. I think if I had to pick a favorite right now, it would be something taller, like a vase. Or I make these big platters. I like those a lot. Those are pretty fun. What about you, Hanun? Which of these vessels that you've seen me make is the one you like the most? I think you've seen me make the mug shape, the cup shape, these bowls. I'm not sure if you were here earlier when I was making the taller pieces. If you had to pick one of these, what would be your preference? And maybe that's a question really about what do you, what's your morning drink? Because if you're a tea or a coffee person, maybe you like a mug. But if you're a matcha person, then maybe none of these. And maybe somebody can tell me, what the heck is a matcha bowl? Is it just a bowl? Or does it need to be a specific shape? Like, why couldn't this be a matcha bowl? Maybe it has to be small enough to use as a cup. One of the inspirational potters, I think that's the right term, but he's an old school guy, long since dead. Wrote this book called The Beauty of Everyday Things. And in the book, he describes the beauty in the pots that are made by folks who aren't really focused on each individual pot. So for him, it's like there's a lot of potters in a room making wares for their boss, you know? And I think actually, Leah, you talking about trimming Alex's nails reminded me of it, because when he describes it in the book, it reminds me of like someone at a nail salon. You know what I mean? And so the potter whose job is like that is making work, and he says there's beauty in that, in the pot that you can kind of, you've made enough of that you don't have to invest your whole self into. And that's what I think drew me to doing live work is, I don't know, I wanted to get good enough that I could make work and be partially distracted. And Jess and Nick at Swan City make it look so easy. But I'll tell you, it's quite a challenge to make your work without your full investment of your brain. And to be honest, it kind of surprises me that anyone at all is interested in what I'm doing. In this day and age, there seems to be a lot more interesting things to look at. But to the three of you that are here, I am grateful for your time with me. Because I could just be doing this alone in the garage. But no, we're here together. But maybe, Hanun, maybe your question is about really the first pot I ever made, which I do know what it is because my mom has it. It's an igloo. An igloo. I don't know why I made that, but I just probably was reading a book or something in school. And Dad gave me some clay and I made an igloo. Oops, I'm almost tipping over my wheel. That would be drama. Serenity and Alex said hi to the pottery. Laugh out loud. Hello, Serenity. Hi, Alex. Alex, I sympathize with the suffering of getting your toenails cut. And Serenity, watch out! Your mom is after you. She's gonna go trim your toenails. Come on, bowl. Get to your home. There you go. Looks like I've got 4 to go. Time always goes by so fast on the wheel. Start at noon and look up, it's already 5 o'clock. It's amazing. But it's only 3:15 here. Love that. Sometimes there's like these moments of just quiet. You know, where the clay just kind of flows under your fingers and it doesn't last very long, but it's just like a moment. I think there's moments like that in life, you know, where you're just going along and all the lights turn green on your way home from work one time, you know. It's just like, you know it's not going to happen every time, but you're in your zone, you know, you're in your realm wherever you normally are. And then you realize something different has happened, something that's just like a flow state that's better than normal. And that happens on the pottery wheel. It's just like a moment. It's like one of my favorite movies, Ford versus Ferrari. He talks about the perfect lap. Every turn, it's just like perfect. And I like thinking about that. Like everything we do is like another chance to have that perfect lap or to make the perfect bowl. And they're still pretty good bowls, but every once in a while you'll get one that's just, you know, it's real good. Lisa, peaceful. Phew, both kiddos done. Toesies and fingers, LOL. I warned you, Serenity, she was coming for you. but you weren't fast enough. Got caught by the toenail bandit. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Leah. You know how to get them. Come here, child. It's time for your monthly toenail collection. And that's why we feed you all this milk, so you grow your toenails faster for our collection. You know, I read somewhere that the horn of a rhinoceros, which is considered to have medicinal properties in some cultures, has the same approximate medicinal value as your toenails. So, I see what you're doing, Leah. Passing off your children's toenails as rhinoceros horn on the black market. Yeah, it's true. It's like one of the reasons why the wow, this one just left the chat. This bowl just left the chat. Oh, it's already gone. Yeah, so it's one of the reasons why the rhinoceros apparently is endangered for their horn. Black market children's toenails. Grind them up, steep them into your tea. It's guaranteed to cure all kinds of ailments. We're going to have to come up with a better name than children's toenails. It's going to have to be, let's see. It's going to have to be, you know how like the name for eating a sheep is mutton? You know what I mean? Like we need a sheep, like a name like that. Like it's going to have to be called calcitines or something like that. It's got. See, there's no one around, so no one tells me when I've like crossed the barrier. They're like, okay. Calcitines. That's Spanish for sock. That's a perfect name, except for in Spanish-speaking countries. Which brings to mind the tragic tale of the Chevrolet Nova, which was a car Chevrolet made 60s and 70s. It was a quality car, but Nova, although a cool intergalactic name, in Spanish, Nova means it doesn't go, which is a terribly unfortunate name for a car. No go. So just because of the name, the Nova kind of went the way of the Pinto, which was, as you all know, well deserved, given that it had the propensity to explode if it had gotten into a rear end accident. But the Nova was a great car. Just bad name. Lee said, "You don't ever bother me, but it's hard to offend me." Yeah. That's probably what I like about you most, Leah, is that you're not easily offended, and you also speak your mind. Those two things, it's right up my alley. Because I have trouble speaking my mind, and I'm always easily offended. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, where to put them? Got too many pots. Alright, that'll do for now. One to go. That means it's thank you time. One to go means thank you time. Leah said, I don't know how to be anything else. Well, then you've just landed on the ideal blend of pleasantry. Because you can't just always be nice. You have to have a certain amount of grit. Otherwise, you're like me, you know, just kind of a pushover. I'm making it a habit on the last pot of the day to do thank yous. So I just want to say thank you to Leah. You can't see it in the video, but your hat is right here behind me. Well, my hat you made. And even though it's hot right now, I still keep it close to me because I really feel like as my career as a potter has begun, you were there from the moment it started. And I always want to remember that, you know, I don't plan on ever being famous. I don't know that I'll make any money, but you supported me anyway. And that has really meant a lot to me. So thank you. I want to say thank you to Hanoun. And I learned some things about Hanoun today. I learned that Hanoun is extremely busy with their job. Hanoun's 29 years old. Birthday is October 20. Ooh, is it 21st? I know it's in October, 20 something. Hanoun has 4 siblings and is the oldest. And so Hanoun, it's been great getting to know you. Thank you for being here. Adirondack was here, and you probably already know this, Leah, but Adirondack, the Adirondack's family owns a board game store, which is super fascinating to me. They have over 500 different board games, and part of their business model has been to create like a sort of library style experience where people can come and if there's no fee, you can just come in and play games. And this has worked out really well for them because not only do they have customers, but now they also have friends. And I love that. I love that concept of creating a welcoming space for folks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Leah. This has been so nice. It's so nice because I could just be sitting here alone in the garage. And instead I get to be here with you. And that it's like a joy. I enjoy making pottery, but it's so much better with someone else. And I know that a lot of potters who are successful artists give it up because we're social beings and we need to be around other people. So this is something I'm really grateful for. Not my best, but probably not my worst. Yeah, well, I really appreciate it when you're here. Let me show you what I made. I put this cart, it's just a roll cart that I put over there. Made 5 pitchers, and it looks like 5, 10, 11, plus 4 over here. 15 bowls. And thanks, Leah. There's my hat. Yeah, studio. I think that's all I got. Thank you once again for being here. Blue hat, yes, yes. I was trying to mix things up today, and so I wore a different apron, but the black one is still on deck. Oh, the little bowls? No, where are those? Oh, these ones? Yeah, they're handy. I use these things all the time. Little ramekins. Well, that'll do it for me. Yeah, careful. And well, I'll say goodbye for now and see you again soon. Cheers. Thanks a lot.